And I bought his book, I was reading it, and I really liked this book. I thought it was fantastic. He's a great writer, he's very passionate, he's very intelligent. What did I do? I was going through the book and I noticed some typos, and some grammatical mistakes, and some parts where obviously his editors hadn't really gone through his book. So I emailed him, and I was like, I think you wrote a great book, Sebastian. I want to improve your book. I'm going to make a list of all the errors and typos and grammatical mistakes and vagaries in meaning, and the Word document, I'll send it to you. Because I think that way, the people who read your book afterwards will be able to get much more from it. They won't trip over mistakes that you just made when you were writing. He was like, okay. He replied to me. He was like, okay. I connected with him. Doesn't help my grades. It's not going to help me at all. It's going to help his readers, though. It's going to help him. And who knows? Things like this happen. He's a very famous blogger. Thousands and thousands of people read his blog. I sent him an email after I sent him this document of all his grammatical mistakes, all his things. And I sent him an email where I was just talking about his blog, and there's one thing that I really like about his blog. And he replied to me. He said, Carl, I really appreciated you taking the time to send these thoughts to me. I really like what you wrote. I think what you said about this is right. I think what you said about this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. We had a conversation. He said, can I post the email that you sent to me to my blog? I said, sure. Now something just happened because I reached out, because I did these things. It's like, I don't know, not enough people do this stuff. Reach out, talk to people, be yourself. If I could have sucked up to him, I could have sucked up to the person that I disagreed with. I could have just said, oh, you're totally right. Can we just get coffee and lunch and I want to hear your thoughts. No, I didn't want to do that. I didn't care about that. I was like, you're wrong. I think you're really wrong. I will tell you why you're wrong at lunch. That's how it works.
So they respond to you?
Yeah. Because smart people, everybody tells them they're smart. Who tells them they're dumb? Nobody. That's why you need somebody to do that. Nobody's perfect. Somebody needs to be pointing out the mistakes in the world. I mean, that's how it works. And not enough people do that. People aren't courageous enough. People don't take that initiative. It's so easy, though. We have email nowadays. You know how easy it is to get in touch with a famous person? You send an email. You send an email every single day for a year. They're going to notice. You can probably get through to Bill Gates like that. If you just sent an email for a year in a row, saying something. 那么那是你的。
我的没事 OK， 我最后有一个建议哈，就是这个文章说就是你的建议很好，但是呢，我想说能不能你写一篇跟他对比的，然后让我们能看出 difference， 我觉得这是最好的，因为你说怎么改风格？that would be better.
I wrote an essay about that.
Yeah.
Or similar.
Okay.
You want to post them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I would be okay with it, but since he already has one, I don't know.
Yeah, I can just copy and paste
Yeah.
it's.
So you have an essay?
Yeah, I wrote an essay I recently applied to this program called the Teal Fellowship. And what that is, it's known as the 20 under the 20 Fellowship. It's given to 20 students who are under the age of 20 every single year. And it's $100,000 from the former CEO and co-founder of PayPal, and the very first investor in Facebook. So he's a multi-billionaire. His name's Peter Thiel. And if you get accepted into this fellowship, there's a contract that you have to sign that says, when I receive the money, I have to drop out of school for 2 years. And I can't go to school. And I love it. I love that. I love the fact that he thinks like that. And in his essays, the way that he thinks is really reflected. He has the essay prompts he asks are very non-standard. He's really trying to get at who you are. He doesn't ask about stuff like this. He tries to go deeper than that. How do you want to change the world? Things like that. What do you believe that nobody else does? He asks those types of questions. And he wants to get, who are you? And so, the essays that I wrote, I was very honest. I was exactly who I was. I swore in my essays because that's who I was and that's what I wanted to express. I didn't try to play nice and didn't try to suck up to him. I disagreed with what their organization does in my essays. I told them that they were wrong because that's what I thought. And that's who I am. And I don't really care. Yeah, so I can post those, and that's just an example of me being me, nobody else. Don't ever settle for that. And the story that goes with that is one day he was running. He went running. Not Jet Li. What am I? Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Sorry. One day Bruce Lee was running. He was running, and he ran 5 miles every single day. And one day one of his friends was really old, 60 years old, was running with him. And they were running. And this really old man was running with him. They were good friends. And Bruce Lee was running, and they got to 3 miles, and the old man said, "Oh my God, my lungs are dying. I'm going to die. I can't run anymore. I think I'm just going to collapse. If I run anymore, I'll die. What did Bruce Lee say? Bruce Lee says, well then die. Just die. Because if this is your limit and you're not willing to challenge yourself and go beyond it, then life is not worth living. A man must always exceed his plateau. So what did this old man do? This guy was so mad at Bruce Lee that he finished it. He ran all 5 miles. He was mad for a bit. But then he realized, like, Jesus, I just ran 5 miles after I thought I would die at 3. And he thanked Bruce after that. It's a very good story. I love that story. It's very powerful. But my personal, I guess, hero right now, I really like this writer. His name is Sebastian, the guy that I emailed, and I corrected his book. Sebastian Marshall. He's a very controversial person. He has a lot of very different thoughts from normal people. He's lived a crazy life. He dropped out of high school to pursue his own business. By the time he was 22, he was making $180,000 a year. He has done some crazy things in his life. He's only, I think, 28 right now. He's building 2 companies. He's building an orphanage in Africa. He has traveled all over the world. He's been to 60 countries. He has networked with some of the most powerful people in the world because he gets to know them. He challenges them. He makes them change. He writes books. He has crazy philosophies about life. He is always who he is. He never changes himself. He gave up $43,000 to publish his book. He gave it up. Somebody was willing to pay him $43,000 to publish. He said, no, I don't want that. I don't want your money. I don't care about the money. The money isn't important to me. I want to publish my book the way that I want to publish it. He donated every single dollar that he got from people buying this book to a charity. He's not even making any money. He just wants to spread his thoughts and make people think. I love that. He's who he is. He's genuine. And he cares. And something like that should be everybody's hero. Maybe not Sebastian specifically, but somebody who shares those characteristics. Who are who they are, who cares about something, who stands for something, who fights for things. Who isn't swayed by money or prestige or fame or what society tells them to do, but does what they want and then does it really well. That's powerful. It's good stuff.